If you don't have the time, the money, or the inclination to go to college, you still have many different options.
Cessna 6266 Golf, Warren Tower, wind 350 degrees at 6, cleared for takeoff. 66 Golf, roger, after departure, left close, traffic approved, report.
7 miles from touchdown.
3005, reporter right downwind, runway 18. After high school, I had really no direction I was planning on taking. At the time, it seemed I just followed the direction what everybody else was doing at the time, which was go to college. I decided I wound up going to a small college out in the Midwest, and after one semester at school, things just hadn't worked out the way I had planned. So I talked to a couple friends I had who were in the Air Force and realized some of the educational benefits that could be gained. And after joining, I had the chance to go through air traffic control school and be stationed here at McGuire in one of the most dense traffic areas in the United States. Cleared for takeoff. I realize the Air Force isn't for everyone, but the educational and vocational opportunities are so unique that one shouldn't overlook the Air Force when considering all the possibilities available after high school. 6 Golf, McGuire Tower, frequency change approved. Have a nice day.
Since I've graduated high school, I've been traveling around the United States. I wanted to take a few months off to think things over, and I didn't like the idea of being pressured into going to college. What I'm doing is something that a lot of my friends talked about, and not any of them did. And it's been rather difficult so far. I've worked as a waiter, a gasoline attendant, I've worked in factories, I've also worked as a salesman, any job that would allow me the time to take off so that I could write and travel when I felt like I wanted to move on and go someplace else and meet new people and get different ideas. I've really learned about people more than anything else, and I've met hundreds of people in traveling every day. I come across new faces, new things, new concepts of thinking and different ways of living and relating to life. A year is a long time to go without roots, and right now I'm looking to settle down and find a little place where I can do my writing. College isn't out of the question for me. I'm thinking of going someday, but when I do go, I'm going to go on my own time schedule and not on somebody else's.
Starting your own business is an alternative that could be an education in itself.
This is our ice cream store, Mother Bucker's Homemade Ice Cream. We've been in business for about 2 years, and Mark and I'm Maureen, we're the proprietors.
After I got out of high school, I felt the need to make a certain amount of money, and I really wasn't prepared to take my life into my own hands completely and just go into business then. I felt the only option was to look to somebody else for some sort of job as best that I could make out.
Once we had decided to open the business, that it was the right time and the right place, and it would be a successful business, we worked to accumulate most of the money. We got that on our own labor. Then we didn't have enough, so we went to an investor. He also thought it was a good business, so he put in some money. And the rest of the money we got from a loan from the bank.
You have to be aware of satisfying at least 30 or 40 different kinds of tastes that are walking into the door, so you can't just have 5 flavors. You have to have at least 15 and prepare for that in advance.
Mark takes care of the manufacturing end, and I take care of the retail end. Making up the schedules, taking care of hiring, firing, training. In the early days, we put in 18, 20-hour days consistently. Now we put in maybe 10-hour days. You have to put in a lot of hours to make a business run.
You can't only say, I know how to make money. You have to say, I know how to take care of the plumbing of my store. I can take care of the refrigeration. I can do carpentry work. I could probably build my own house right now. Not to mention the fact that I can understand what motivates a varying number of people at the same time.
Graduation isn't the only chance in a lifetime to take advantage of the options constantly opening up.
I'm a student at Manhattanville College, and I'm studying psychology. I went right on to college after high school and found that I didn't like it, plus the fact that I was more interested in getting married, and decided to quit and go to work. And then I got married, and 4 children, and 20 years later, I was very bored and really wanted to do something, and I started working as a volunteer in the nursery school my youngest child was attending. And they offered me a job because they really thought that I was very good with kids. And I worked there for 3 years and discovered that I was good but didn't have really enough knowledge in certain areas, especially psychology, because many children do have problems and their parents have problems, and as a teacher they come to you. So I decided to maybe investigate coming back to school, and I decided to try one course just as a non-degree student, and I really enjoyed it, so I went on from there. This summer I'm taking abnormal psychology and psychology of a mature person.
A rainbow.
A rainbow, right. And in my education courses, I am working with children in the local public schools, teaching them to read and some math, and I will be student teaching full-time in September. I have found my kids really respect the fact that I've gone back to school, and that when I say I must study, they really, unless it's an emergency, let me have that time. They have been really good and understanding, and I think my husband has been fantastic. I think for some people, it's much better to go out in the world and work and look around and really find yourself and know exactly where you're going before you go to college, because otherwise I feel it's almost wasting the 4 years. If you're going to come out after 4 years and not know who you are or what you're doing, you might just as well not have gone. When I left college, I never thought that I'd ever go back to college. But since I have, I'm just so delighted, because I've discovered that education is a continuing thing. You never stop learning. You never should stop learning. And I don't think anybody has to be afraid of going back to college, whether it's 1 year after high school or 20 years after high school. You should just continue to learn.
What you've seen is only a sampling, the tip of an iceberg. In addition, there are all kinds of technical schools, 2-year colleges, and specialized schools well worth your investigation. The possibilities are unlimited. Your own options will naturally be created by your needs, interests, and imagination. None of the choices of the people you have seen are perfect or right for everyone. They are simply beginnings, starting points for you. Think about it.